Good afternoon and greetings from Montezuma Well, right outside of Camp Verde, Arizona. Today, we're going to be exploring this mystery of the desert, this oasis, this natural well, and all the archaeological wonders that are built alongside of this. I've also heard rumors that this may be a place to keep cool in the hot summers here in Arizona. If you want to find out, stick around and come explore with us.
So we're parked right here and we're taking the trail along right here. She said it basically overlooks this whole well area, but she said if we get too tired and don't want to go all the way around, we can just take this back and you can kind of see like the river area and a little bit more of the well.
We were also given a warning to stay on the trail as there are a lot more rattlers for some reason, rattlesnakes that is, around this time. So I'm keeping my eye out. So is it wrong of me to want to see rattlesnakes?
Yes.
It's weird because I've lived in Arizona a long time and I've seen a couple of them, but you always see warning signs about like stay on path, rattlesnakes, and I never ever see them, ever. And I want to see them. Now I don't want to get bit and I don't want problems, but it would be kind of cool and I just never have seen them. And here we are overlooking Montezuma Well, right below. The water temperature is said to be around a constant 74 degrees. And right up above, with a great view of the actual well, are some amazing dwellings, those cliff dwellings. Look at those. Okay, I'm actually going to go down this trail really quick. It looks like it's 150 yards down these steps. If you want to come over here, Amy. This looks a little bit more treacherous than the other stuff, so I'm gonna head down there. I'm gonna bring you guys with me. Continuing down the trail, another warning, please stay on the trail. You don't want to run into one of these elusive rattlesnakes. All right, I think we're towards the bottom of this trail. I read some of the information that we got from the ranger. There used to be a community of people that lived around here, and you could see actually back there on the cliff, when I first started filming, those are some of the remaining cliff dwellings that still exist today. They're very well preserved. Another interesting thing that I didn't realize is that this well doesn't exist because of rainfall from this region. There's definitely not enough rain here to create a pond like this. Well, it turns out that over thousands of years, water kind of percolated down into the ground and I guess flowed to this area, and this is actually an old sinkhole. And for whatever reason, the sinkhole collapsed, or the cavern collapsed, and it's filled with this water that apparently originated from way up on the Mogollon Rim. Pretty cool. Oh, it looks like I found a little oasis. I don't know. The ranger said not much shade, but oh, there's plenty of shade down here. Maybe it's in my head, but it feels like it's a few degrees cooler down here, in fact. Maybe it's because of the water. I did ask the ranger, upon standing up there on the overlook, I felt a nice cool breeze, a little cooler than usual, and I asked, is it really the effect of the water cooling the air? And he said no, he didn't think so, but being down here in this oasis, still feeling a breeze. I wouldn't say it's like a nice AC, but it's a little cool. So I came around the corner, and looky here. Wow. This is amazing. Look at this. It's like a natural cave. I don't know how far back that goes, but look at that. I really feel cool there. I wonder if there's air coming out of this. So the natives of this area back in the day had the right idea. This is like a naturally air-conditioned place. It's so cool and just perfect down here. If I were living back then, I'd totally be living down here at Montezuma Well. I don't see anything about how far back this cave goes. I imagine not too far, but apparently there are bats that live in here. These guys You can see these structures run all along the side, the base of this cliff. So I don't know if they reconstructed the walls here, or I'm gonna assume they did reconstruct. Now look up on that rock. You see some graffiti. It says photos of this by Rothrock, Phoenix. I believe that is 1878. George H. Rothrock, a pioneering Arizona photographer, took advantage of this site's popularity and painted his advertisement on the rocks overhead. So this guy was a photographer from the 1800s that wrote that. Fascinating. Some more 1800s graffiti. 1896. Looks like D. Griffin. And over here, what do we have here? Duke C. Heflin, June 30th of 1896. And there's some other faint ones. You can actually see it better through the camera here. I don't know what it says though. So unfortunately, as a lot of the signage will tell you, there were a lot of pioneers and early visitors to the site, probably in the 1800s to early 1900s, that took a lot of the natural artifacts out of the area before this was a national monument or regulated. So these days, of course, don't steal anything and don't deface things like that, but there's something really cool about seeing graffiti from the 1800s. I don't know why that delights me, but it does. So what this is talking about is that why does the level not rise? Why does it not overflow? Well, the reason is, looks like the water kind of percolates up out of the ground into here, and then it drains out. And I believe this is the natural drain that they're talking about. I can actually hear water flowing. Do you hear that? Sounds like a drain pipe. Somewhere right back in there, I hear it. So we're at the end of this trail, the first trail, and look at this lush habitat behind me. Who would have thunk that we're in Arizona? I've forgotten for a moment that I live in the desert. Okay, that was a cool visit, but we have to head back up. The only way back up is the way we came, up the stairs, so time to get a little bit of a workout in, tracking it on my Fitbit. Okay, we're continuing the loop trail now. We're actually heading this direction. But you'll notice that on this trail, if you follow it, you get some other spectacular views of the well from up above. And you can actually see where we just were. We had hiked down that way. There's a trail. I don't know if you can see off in the distance, there's folks walking down there. That's where we were. That's where we actually saw the graffiti and the Indian dwellings that were at the base of the cliff in that nice cool area. Just to give you some perspective, it looks like it's a far way down, but I didn't think it was too bad. And from this overlook, you can get some really good views of the dwellings that are built way up on the cliffside up there. And continuing down the trail, it looks like we've come across the remnants of some other native dwellings here in the area. Not sure exactly what this is, but it's sizable. And the thing that makes me wonder too with these things, I'm assuming that they reconstructed some of this stuff, because this looks like modern day concrete to me. It definitely is, and I don't think that was a building material that the natives here had. But seeing all these other rocks strewn about, all these uniformly sized rocks, I wonder if those are remnants of other dwellings. Okay, now the moment I've personally been waiting for. I hear the sound of rushing water down there, I believe. There's a creek down below. The ranger did say there's very, very fresh water down here that we could actually splash on our faces and cool off and soak our feet in if we want to. That's why I think this may be a great place to come and cool off during the summer here in Arizona. So let's go find out. I already feel cool air blowing up from down here. It feels like natural air conditioning to me. There's the creek. Plenty of fresh water down there. If you can tolerate a little bit of stairs, not many, the reward is well worth it. Oh, it is so nice and cool down here in the shade. The sound of running water, rushing water. Such a rare sound in Arizona, at least in the desert. And here's your reward. Nice, clean, crystal clear water. This must be where the water from the well percolates through this side of the cliff and out this direction. Now this looks like kind of a man-made canal. I think, and I could be wrong, I don't know if these were canals that they restored, that the natives made to get water as far as like 7 miles I read from this site to other areas for irrigation purposes or not. I will validate that a little bit later. I should have read more carefully, but I'm wondering if that's what this is. And it's strange because maybe it's an optical illusion, but it almost looks like the water's going uphill. I'm gonna err on the side of it's probably an illusion and that's gravity at work, but that's pretty cool. So earlier a ranger told us that if we came down this way there would be fresh water that we could stick our feet in, put on our heads. I'm going to give it a try. I hope I don't regret this. Let's see. Ooh, it's nice and cool. I wouldn't say it's like ice cold, but it's cool. That's refreshing, all right. I'm gonna try putting my feet in there. Probably gonna regret this because I'm gonna get crap stuck all over my foot now when I put my shoes back on, but this is the Cactus Atlas. We do it right here. Oh my. That actually feels so good. The water is actually much cooler. Like the deeper you put your foot in there, it feels so refreshing. I can't tell you how good this feels. Very cool water. I would not say ice cold, but on the cooler side of cool. You could see the water is crystal clear. Look how white my feet are. The only thing that's a little gross and worrisome is look at that big spider over there. I assume that's a wolf spider. I don't know. I don't know my spiders very well. I feel a lot cooler now, but I do have one slight regret. I'll show you, follow me. Notice I'm barefoot. There's lots of debris on the ground and my wet feet have picked up a lot of stuff. So I don't want to put my socks on just yet to get all the debris in there, so I need to figure out a solution. Now, as we saw on some of the signage across the way at the well, the water apparently flows through this rock and down on this side. You can hear that rushing water. My assumption, and I'm not a geologist or anything or an expert, but I do have to assume that is the water coming from the well flowing into the creek. You can hear it right under here. So I'm assuming the well is what's feeding a lot of what's in this creek here. And there's a warning, don't go in there because there's poison ivy. If I remember from my childhood, I think this is poison ivy right here. Notice if you look at like the leaves here, you've got 3 leaves and notice how they're uneven. They're not symmetrical. I believe that is a sign of a poison ivy. So don't touch that. Now I'm a little paranoid that little poison ivy leaves have fallen off here and I'm walking on them barefoot. But we're adventurers here, so what fun would it be if there wasn't risk of something bad happening? So, a couple things. First, I will certify that that is going to go on our list of ways to keep cool here in the hot Arizona summer. Another thing that I confirmed is that the little mini canal that I was sticking my feet into to cool my feet off, I was surmising that that may have been like an ancient canal, and sure enough it was. However, it has been a little bit modernized and they've reinforced it with modern materials, but sure enough that was a way the people that lived in this area got water around. Now this Montezuma well, there aren't many facilities here. Really the only facilities you have, man-made facilities, are these restrooms here. They look pretty clean. No running water, just a porta potty. Montezuma Well does not have an entrance fee. It is free and it's very well kept, but they do take donations in this donation box. So Cactus Atlas would like to contribute a couple bucks to the cause. So Amy, if you'll do the honors, please. To Montezuma Well from the Cactus Atlas. And we've reached the end of the trail, and thus concludes our adventure today here at Montezuma Well. It's a very fascinating trail. We loved it. It does satisfy our criteria for a good place to cool off. You get to see a lot of archaeological sites. You get to see a lot of natural splendor. The well itself is pretty amazing. The creek behind there, it's all great. Please visit this place. Please donate when you come to visit. And we couldn't say enough good things about this location. If you're new here, please subscribe and use that like button to let us know that you like our content. Also, hit that notification bell to stay on top of all of our adventures, as you'll be notified each time we release new content. Until next time, take it easy. We'll see you on the next adventure. And gosh darn it, once again, didn't see a single rattlesnake.